Hello and welcome to this video. Alright, so today basically I decided to do something a bit different. So I had decided to make the GONK droid that you see me make right now, but alongside with the time-lapse, you also hear me giving you some tips and other stuff for how to make models that you can see, for example, in Race to the Rhydonium or other my projects. So yeah, let's get right into it. And for my GAR viewers, which I know there are many of you there, I have actually hidden a lightsaber game pass for you to discover, and yeah, one person can redeem it, so whoever's fastest is the winner. So I hope you have fun finding it somewhere here in this video, and yeah, let's keep going, and sorry for the interruption for everybody that doesn't really know what GAR is or any of that other stuff. So let's get right into the video then. So basically the first thing is you probably see the reference that I have for both sides of the gong, and actually that's very important, because even though some people underestimate how it could help, for me it's like, the model I try like to keep it as lore accurate as possible. So that's for sure the first tip that I think if you want to make some quite good models you should try out. So probably now you're seeing me like with this weird grid and stuff that's basically not in base Blender. So my next tip is actually, I know it's not for everyone, but to try and search for some add-ons that, yeah, some may be paid. For example, this one with the grid was, but it's really worth it. As you can see, I'm like doing something that would be quite hard with the Boolean modifier. And even though I have to like fix the topology afterwards, it's really good. And yeah, there are like some other add-ons that I also use, but yeah, I mean, I can like just go on and on with the list. So I just recommend you to search Blender Market or some other stuff and maybe try and find some add-ons that fit you there. So now, as you can see, we're kind of finishing the modeling process, and with it comes the next step that some people might forget about or like don't do at all. But it's very important. It's UV unwrapping. So basically now I'm making all the seams and everything, and I'm using another add-on for that actually. It's Zen UV. It's also paid, but I really recommend it. And yeah, now I'm just trying to make sure that the texture is okay. I mean that there are no artifacts or stuff like this. And actually this process is quite satisfying. I mean, you just like see all the grids with colors, and yeah, that's quite cool. Alright, so now we're moving very quickly to the next step, which is texturing your model in Substance Painter. And actually, I know many of you are using just Blender to texture it, but it's really not the way to go if you want to go for quality. And I know it's paid, and Adobe is well known for overpricing their products, but basically, yeah, it's worth it. I mean, I can tell you that. So now that I'm texturing it, some tips would be, basically I use a combination of some already done masks and smart materials, although with this model it was just the masks, because I wanted to show you basically, yeah, how I do it without the help of the native tool store. So basically, when you want to reach the style of the Clone Wars, one thing to remember is that there is no metallic and no roughness most of the time. So in Race of the Rhydonium, I switch it up a bit, and you might see that there is roughness. So in Race to the Rhydonium, there is roughness, but there is no metallic, so keep that in mind. Now, once the texturing process is done, I of course have to send it over to Blender once again. And yeah, you can see me basically first importing the color texture, then the roughness. As I said, there's no metallic. So now I add the sky texture, and the rest of the process from there is actually quite simple. I just light it up, and yeah, now in a couple of seconds you actually see me adding color to the buttons that are there, because I forgot to do that earlier, but I guess they aren't really done in Substance Painter, so I could say that it was just a mistake. So now that I'm doing it, yeah, I mean, the entire GONK is almost finished. So the entire thing took me actually just under 40 minutes. So some might say that it's a lot, some might say that it isn't, but for me it was quite a good score. So I hope you enjoyed it and you learned something from it. And if you did, then drop a like, subscribe, and see you in the comments.